Now, the season in the Championship kicks off on Friday evening with the trip to Sheffield Wednesday. To help us preview that, I'm pleased to welcome James Mappin from the Wednesday Till I Die podcast. Hi, James. How you doing?
Hi, guys. Yeah, all good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Well, we were chatting to you last season, weren't we, before the League Cup game, which I'm sure we'll get on to in just a moment. But it's been a busy season, or busy pre-season for you guys as well. You've appointed a new manager this summer. How's that all working out? Do you see that as an upgrade?
It's a tricky one, to be honest. I think Darren Moore kind of split quite a lot of people last season, and the season before when he was here. I mean, you can't deny that he did the job in terms of he got us out of League One, which is what we needed to do. But there were some people that didn't like him for whatever reason. Me personally, I thought he'd done a great job. But yeah, unfortunately, football things happen. Disagreements behind the scenes and everything, and obviously everything fell down. To be honest, there weren't many names in the hat that I looked at and thought, wow, that would be a fantastic appointment. However, when you look at Xisco and you look at the fact that he took Watford up out of this league, he's managed in this league before. I suppose out of everyone, you think, well, yeah, he has got a decent track record. The noise coming out from behind the scenes was that we have a list of players that the chairman's going to pick and choose from, and that's kind of how Xisco's worked before, especially at Watford. He didn't have the say over the players that came in. So from that point of view, yeah, it seemed like a good fit, and also he had intents of moving away from the boring 5-3-2 that we were playing for the past couple of seasons, which I think did a job in League One. However, I think we needed something a little bit different, and Xisco seemed to have brought that different style of playing, which I think will be refreshing to see.
So what is the style of play going to be like going forward then? What can we expect?
Well, based on pre-season, he's gone back to a back four rather than a 3 or a 5, whichever way you want to look at it. He's been yesterday in the game against Luton, it was more of a 4-1-4-1 formation. Although he has experimented with a 4-2-3-1 and various other reincarnations of that formation, but mainly he's onto a back four instead of a back 3 or a back 5, like I said, whichever way you want to look at it. So yeah, something a bit different. Pre-season's not gone great, let's say. I think just the timings have all been wrong, personally. The fact that we had to go up via the playoffs, other teams have had that extra time to get the teams ready. Then we've obviously got rid of the manager 2 weeks after our season's finished. Then it takes another 2 weeks to get the manager in. Then it takes another 2 weeks to actually sign a player as well. So, and then we're here now, and we're 5 days from the season starting. So yeah, timing has been awful this pre-season.
Well, it took us long enough to get a manager in, and we knew who we wanted. Steve, what are your thoughts looking ahead to Friday night? Do you think it's going to be a good game? There's been some pretty high-scoring games over the years. There's been some pretty turgid affairs as well. It's difficult to see which way this one's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, toss a coin on that front. I don't think it'll be an average game. It'll either be brilliant or god awful. I think. I mean, Wednesday were. I mean, as James said, they. From what I saw, which I mean, admittedly wasn't a huge amount, but the few games I did see, they were largely kind of defensively resilient. But was that just because of weight of numbers? Was that because you were defending with 5 against League One opposition? And it's as you say, if they've moved systems now and they're playing a different way, but they've still got the same players that they had in League One for the most part, then. I mean, how are they going to be sort of capable of making that step up? But it's Friday night under the lights, presumably going to be a big crowd. I've no idea if it's a sellout at the home end, but I think we've sold even the extra tickets that we were eventually given. So should be a decent atmosphere at least, and no doubt Andy Hinchcliffe will be. Getting very excited in the co-coms seat on Sky. That'll be really I'm expecting that to be pretty one-sided.
James, who are the new faces that we should look out for? Have you seen much of I know there's been a couple of additions this summer. Have you been able to see much of them in pre-season?
In short, no. No, we signed 3. Well, we've signed 4 players in this transfer window. One was Reece James, who we had on loan for all of last season, so he doesn't really feel like much of a new face. He plays at left back, pretty solid. Played quite a lot centre back as well. Someone that's about 4'10", he did quite well at centre back, to be honest. The other 3 that have come in, Juan Delgado, he's operates as more of a right-sided midfielder or a winger. He played yesterday, played the first 45 minutes. He looks good, looks strong. He's got a little bit of pace about him as well. He had a chance, which perhaps, a bit of a heavy touch, but no, that's something that we're lacking at the moment. We've got Malik Wilkes on the right, but he played about 5 games last season. He was injured. He's hardly played any pre-season either, so it was definitely something that we needed. Ashley Fletcher on loan from Watford on a season-long loan. Tall. He looks very much like Michael Smith, who we've already got. If you're quite lazy and just look at his height, but he does like to get in behind defenses, and that's one thing that's going to be different this season. Last season, everyone said we were crying out for pace. Gregory and Smith up front, they've got no pace really between them whatsoever. But when you come up against sides such as Morecambe, Wickham, all these sides like that, Accrington, Stanley as well, they just play with every man behind the ball, and they sit really deep, and it's very hard to break them down. So even though we lacked pace, we wouldn't have been able to use it anyway. However, this season, playing a bit more of a counter-attacking football, we are going to need a little bit of pace. I don't think Ashley Fletcher is the answer, but he's certainly another guy up top. And then the other one who I'm really excited about, but we haven't seen, because he's only just come in a couple of days ago, is Paul Valentin, guy that was signed from Sporting Gijon. There's a theme here as well, like Juan Delgado and Spanish speaking manager as well, and he's all players that have played with or been managed by Cisco as well in the past. But looking at his stats, he has got a bit of pace about him. He plays right back. So the 2 new guys linking up is something that we're going to be looking forward to. But yeah, Ashley Fletcher came off the bench yesterday and played 20-25 minutes. It didn't really do a great deal, but yeah, at that point we'd made quite a few changes anyway, so it was probably quite difficult. So yeah, in answer to your initial question, we haven't really seen any of it.
We'll make our conclusions on Friday. Glenn, on paper, a great fixture for us, really. If you're looking at home, would probably be ideal, but great opportunity on the Friday night. And as we talked about with that starting 11, there's going to be a number of players there which probably won't be there had this game been in September. So it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, it's interesting from the. I do wonder what the teams thought, who, like Sheffield Wednesday, we got Southampton in the first couple of weeks before the transfer window shuts, because we could, in theory, have several players of Premier League quality who will probably be playing in the Premier League, or we could be not playing any of those, or they could all be suffering like Lavia is with his head full of Jurgen Klopp's sweet nothings. So it's interesting to see how we go. I mean, James said he's got no real idea what Sheffield Wednesday are going to do, and we're exactly the same. We've got no idea how the team that we've been watching in pre-season is going to do in a competitive game. I mean, when I saw the Carabao Cup game last year, and the one thing for me that stood out about Sheffield Wednesday, you were very unlucky to lose the game on penalties, I thought, overall, was that we really struggled with the physicality of the the central defenders and the I can't remember his name. There was a guy who just ran everywhere in midfield, and it was just, we really struggled. I mean, you played us at a funny time because we just sacked Ralph, and we were managerless, soon to appoint the genius that was Nathan Jones. So it was a bit of a strange game. So it probably doesn't have much of a pointer towards this, but. I'm not sure that playing a newly promoted club away on a Friday night on the first game
for the reasons
is necessarily a good it's not good. I mean, we got Sheffield Wednesday and we got Plymouth first 2 away games.
And you were talking about our last season in the league, where we had the momentum, where we come up from League One and we had that spine, and so
Yeah, momentum is something we definitely haven't got.
That
Unless downwards counts. Yeah.
The momentum has gone, by the way. Massively.
Yeah.
We've not even kicked a ball, and things off the pitch and everything. You know, the manager going. The fact that we've not really strengthened the squad, we let quite a few people go. I mean, I'm just looking at the side that played against you last season. On the whole, you know, largely it is the same. Dele-Bashiru, he's probably the only one that's missing, and Stockdale as well, who was in goal. McGuinness went back to Cardiff as well. He was a big loss, but everyone else is still there. Will Volk came off the bench. Smith came off late on, and Reece James, who I mentioned earlier, he also came off. So the vast majority of the players we have still got, obviously playing in a totally different system now. We have already got a few little niggly injuries already, which I'm sure we're going to get a lot of those this season. That's kind of a big worry. The strength in depth that we just haven't got any strength in depth whatsoever. But going back to the momentum and stuff, we missed a massive opportunity by, obviously, I'm sure everyone saw the Peterborough game when we were 4-0 down in the first leg and come back to win that on penalties, and then again at Wembley, the 123rd minute winner, in kind of dramatic scenes and everything. And there's a massive buzz around Sheffield Wednesday and ticket prices, which I know you boys have had your tickets subsidised by sponsors and stuff like that. Loads of things that have happened which have just really not captured the enthusiasm behind Sheffield Wednesday fans, and made quite a lot of fans quite angry, to be honest. And it's not really what you want, having been promoted in the way that we did. You want to ride on that crest of a wave, and unfortunately, it's just not there anymore.
I can see that it would take the shine off it.
Yeah. Are you kind of expecting to, if you had to do a prediction for the entire season, are you kind of expecting to struggle and it would be decent to stay up, sort of thing, or are there more? Do you have more ambitions to push into the top half, sort of thing?
It's a funny one because when I mentioned there, the squad is largely the same. There is some players in there that last season we were saying championship quality. Barry Bannon, Josh Windass, Will Volks, George Byers. They're all, Windass and Byers were injured for the back end of the season, and we really missed them. They're certainly players that could easily play in the championship. So you look at that and you think, well, we've probably got a good spine there and could do quite well. The worry is just the strength in depth. We've got 20 first team players, which is just not enough. Like, that is literally enough for.
We've got a few spare.
Yeah, about 86.
Yeah, it's literally just enough to fill the bench with 9 subs now. We're going to be playing kids, and the pre-season is being dominated by the kids playing, which they weren't good enough last season. So we did the hard. Well, I think we had the oldest squad and the least amount of minutes to under 23s last season, and then now we're asking them players to make the step up and play in the championship, which is going to be difficult. And there's some fans that have got rose-tinted glasses on saying, oh, we're going to find a few gems, but how many times have we said that, and they play and they're awful. So they get found out. It's all right playing against York and Chesterfield in a pre-season friendly, but maybe York and Chesterfield is their level, not playing against Southampton in in the first game of the season, who've just got relegated, and as you said, have kept quite a lot of your Premier League players.
Going to trouble you for a score prediction in just a minute, James, before we let you go. Alfie, are you looking forward to the trip to Hillsborough on a Friday night? There's going to be a few of these trips up north, isn't there, this season?
I think I worked out earlier in the month. I think it's like 8,000 total miles we're going to be doing on the road, something like that. It's a ridiculous amount. But that being said, I think something that Russell said was a lot of the players aren't going to feel like they've come out of the Premier League because they're playing at Hillsborough on a Friday night in front of what will hopefully be a sold-out stadium. I think the atmosphere is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait. What I am interested in is, James, you mentioned sort of the potential for playing the counter-attack. I mean, we don't know exactly what, the counter-attack will be it, because he'll be more than happy for the team to have 70% possession. But as we saw against Hazel Alkmaar, if you don't turn that into anything, you can concede 2 shots in the game and lose 1 or 2-0. So that's maybe a little bit nervous, to be honest. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Good. All right, James, score prediction for you. How do you see this one playing out?
Can I go in my head and my heart?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It could be totally different, to be fair. The fact that pre-season has been awful. Although saying that, if you play Football Manager, when you have a crap pre-season, you're normally pretty good in the league. So I'm holding out some hope. But no, I think my head's saying you're going to have far too much for us. We're playing a new style, which it seems like we've not even got to grips with yet. My head's saying it's going to be a 3-1 defeat. My heart says that we could perhaps nick it 1-0 and make it, like you've just been saying, Alfie, not break us down, and we could catch on the break with and nick one.
Okay, Steve, score prediction for you, please, for this game.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I would kind of go. I think the head sort of option, I think, is probably a 1-0 win for us.
Okay.
I don't think we've got the goals in us just yet. Much like you, we're also trying out a new style of playing where we're dominating possession rather than ceding it and trying to nick stuff on the break. So yeah, I mean, looking man for man, you would obviously say, yeah, we're going to have the better lineups, but with the atmosphere behind them, who kind of knows how it goes. I mean, I'd absolutely bite your arm off for just a scrappy 1-0 win, 84th minute winner. Just get the 3 points on the board right at the very start. Top of the league on Friday night. That'd be lovely.
Get off and running. Yeah. Okay. So I'll put you down for 1-0, right?
Yep, that'll do.
Okay. Glenn?
I'm a little bit concerned about how our team will react to the atmosphere and the expectation, because there is an expectation from the manager and from the higher ups at the club that we're gonna mount a promotion bid this year. As I said earlier, I don't quite see it at the moment with the players that we've got, especially in the forward areas, as Steve alluded to there. So it's I think the first half is or the first 20 minutes are going to be massive. If we can survive what I predict will be a bit of a rough opening 20 minutes, then I can maybe see us get nicking the game later on. If we get to half time at 0-0, I could maybe see us nicking it. But yeah, that's what I'll go for. I'll go for a 1-0 win, but I think all bets are off. It could be anything. We could easily get beat 3-0.
You can see we're oozing with confidence, James, ahead of this one. Alfie?
As well, you keep mentioning the atmosphere. If things aren't going right, the atmosphere will get toxic. Even early on, so.
Already.
Home or away? Hang on.
No, for us, if you can get an early goal and things aren't going our way, like I said, the fans can turn quite quickly. So yeah, don't think that we're going to be getting behind the team and willing on and things like that. It's going to be the opposite way around.
Oh,
this is great in the championship. I love it already.
I love it. This is brilliant. It's much better, isn't it? Alfie, score prediction. What are you saying?
Well, in my head, I've had the entire episode. I was going to go with 1-1. But the fact that even Steve and Glen have gone for a win makes me feel that I probably should change. But I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to have to stick with it.
Okay, all right.
Before I go, so just a question for you boys. Are you optimistic that the fact that obviously last season was awful for yourselves? Just to get back to winning some games.
Well, if it transpires like that, I mean, we all said exactly the same in 2005, the last time we came down, and yeah, we didn't go back up for another 7 years or so. So it was, I think a lot of people are going to have a little bit of a rude awakening. But I mean, I said this a lot last season that I thought that the talent in the squad was there for us to stay up. But it was a combination of bad management and not enough leadership within the playing squad. At the moment, we still don't have that leadership, and the management is kind of new and fresh, and the jury's out at the moment. So yeah, who knows? But yeah, there's a lot of expectation, certainly.
Definitely.
It'd be nice to play some better football. I think that's something that's definitely going to happen. We are going to play a better style of football. I think there will be more. We'll score more goals. So and we won't have VAR disallowing them every 2 minutes, which seemed to happen last year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I think the results will come, but I'm not particularly confident at this moment in time, given the sort of change around that's happening and is going to happen in the next sort of 4 or 5 weeks.
And the buzzword seems to be patience at the moment for us. It might not happen straight away. We're going to have to just wait and see. So patience. But personally, I'm just looking forward to maybe stringing a couple of wins together, because it's been a long time since we had a win 3 or 4 in a row. So we'll see. James, thanks for coming on. Really good, really insightful. And if it's all right with you, we'll catch up again later in the season.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I've tipped Southampton to go up this season, but having listened,
you haven't put money on it, have you?
No, I haven't. We're doing our prediction show straight after this, but having listened to you, I think I might have to rethink that.
You got the make of us. Cheers, James. Have a good season.
Cheers.
No problem, guys. Thank you.